equation of the line through two given points. We're going to do this using a couple of formulas from the background that we discussed in class. One of these is the slope formula, which is that the slope, denoted by m, is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And the other equation floating around in the background, since the problem is non-specific, it doesn't tell you which form of line it wants, we're going to use the point slope form of a line, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Recall from the lectures in class that we can see how these are related to each other and where they're derived from, but for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to take the 2 points we were given and label them. So we'll call that x1, y1, x2, y2. x1 and y1 are the x coordinates from the first point, and x2, y2 are the x and y coordinates from the second point. Okay, first up, let's calculate slope. Slope is y2, which is 4, minus y1, which is negative 4, over x2, which is negative 5, minus x1, which is the number 1, using our labels from above. 4 minus negative 4 is 8, and negative 5 minus 1 is negative 6. So after reducing this fraction, we can see that the slope, m, is negative 4/3. Then, in order to find the equation of the line, we're going to use the point slope form of a line over here in green, which is y minus y1, which in our case with our labeling is negative 4, equals m, which we did in the blue to find negative 4/3, times x minus x1, which is the number 1. So after a little bit of simplification, minus a negative 4 means y plus 4 equals negative 4/3, and x minus 1 is of course x minus 1. So there is the final answer in point slope form. If you were asked to change this into, for example, slope-intercept form, you could use a little distributive property, and if you're asked to do it in a standard form, you would have to manipulate the x and the y to be on the left hand side and the constant on the right and clear the fractions. Okay, so why don't you try to do an example on your own here. Slide over to this problem and see if you can do this one. Pause the video, and assuming you gave it a shot here, let's do it together so you can see if you got the answer. The slope m is equal to y2, well, let's first label x1, y1, x2, y2. The slope is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 3 minus 1 is 2, 1 minus 5 is negative 4, so I'm finding negative 1/2 to be the slope. Therefore, the equation of the line would be y minus y1, which is 1, equals m, which was in blue, negative 1/2, x minus x1, which is 5. And so, this final answer I would be saying here would be y minus 1 equals negative 1/2 times x minus 5. Hopefully you got a similar answer.